What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the latest power stations from Jackery. The one that we have here today is called the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2. So this is the smallest and lightest 1 kWh LFP power station available on the market. This has a weight of only 10.8 kilos. So when compared to a lot of other competing products on the market, this is definitely the smallest and lightest for this capacity. Now, you could charge this in a few ways. First of all, you could charge it at home from a home outlet, and it takes about 2 hours to charge it at home. There is also an emergency mode available that you enable from the app. We'll talk more about the app later on, but that gives you the ability to charge this in only 1 hour. So extremely fast charging if you need to charge it very fast. The second way of charging this would be in your vehicle from that 12-volt plug in your car. And the third way of charging this, and the way that I actually prefer charging this, is from a solar panel. Of course, Jackery sells a bunch of these solar panels, so there will be some links in the video's description or the top right corner so you can check this out. But basically, if you get 2 of these solar panels, you could charge this in about 7.5 hours, which is pretty amazing because then you get free electricity, you generate your own electricity. But we'll talk more about this solar panel later on when I go outside. Since this power station has a 1500 watt output, there are a lot of things that you can power from it. So, for example, if you take this camping, just to give you an example, you could power a fridge from it, you could power a cooking pot, a portable AC unit, a laptop, or pretty much anything that you can think about, you will be able to power from this. Not to mention that if you use a solar panel, you can charge it and charge other devices from it as well. So kind of like an unlimited power hack in a way. You could also use this at home for emergencies as well. So you can power a fridge, so you can power lights, fans, and whatever you can think of. And later on in the video, we're actually going to test out a few things so you can see how this works. All right, so taking a quick look at the device itself. First of all, we have this handle right here at the top. This also has a bit of a rubber portion here, so whenever you're carrying this, it doesn't hurt your hand. This is also very handy because this way you can actually carry this around with ease. You don't have to like hold it like this, so very easy to carry. The device is mostly made out of plastic. At the bottom, we do have some rubber legs, let's call them, so if you have it on any surface, is not gonna slip around. And then on the front here, we basically have all our ports. Now on this side, we have our charging port, so you'd plug in the device to charge there. There is a cable that comes in the box, so that's how you'd charge it from a home power outlet, just to give you an example. And since we are talking about charging, well, there are 3 charging modes. Our regular fast charging mode takes about 2 hours. You will hear some fans inside the device whenever you are charging it from a home outlet in that fast charging mode. There is also an emergency fast charging mode, which charges this much faster. It's not recommended to use that at all times, but if you are in an emergency, definitely use it. And that way you can actually charge this in just about an hour. But then we also have a quiet charging mode. So let's say that you're in the same room with this and you don't want the device to actually make noise. You could always use that quiet charging mode and you can barely hear the device charging. This is a quick example just so you can see how the device charges in the normal fast charging mode and in that quiet charging mode. Alright, so the first charging test will be the regular fast charging mode. So I'm gonna plug this in and within a few seconds you're gonna hear the fan starting up inside the device, so I'll be quiet. It's definitely not loud, but it could get louder depending how hot the battery pack inside the device gets, but definitely not as loud as you'd imagine. So this shows about 45 decibels, so definitely not that loud. If you're not close enough to it, you're not gonna hear it. We'll unplug this and we'll go to the quiet charging mode. Alright, so now I switched it from the app to the quiet charging mode. I'm gonna plug it in, we'll wait a couple of seconds. So again, I'll be quiet. So in the quiet charging mode, of course, it will be charging slower, but you're not gonna be able to hear it. You can actually have it right next to you. You cannot hear that fan going at all. Now, a very exciting part about having a power station like this is the ability to charge it from a solar panel, as I'm doing right now. So, of course, Jackery has some solar panels available that you can purchase with the power station or separate. So, for example, the one that we have right here is called the Solar Saga 100. 100 comes from the output of the solar panel, so basically 100 watts. So very nice having something like this, because as I said, if you're outdoors, if you're camping, you don't actually have access to electricity. So very important to be able to charge everything from a solar panel. So if we go behind it here, I have the power station right here. So it's currently charging with 95 watts from the solar panel. So pretty good, because it's kind of late in the day right now. And you could also connect two of these solar panels to the power station, and you'd be able to charge it much faster than this. Of course, because we do have two ports on the side here. If you have two of these solar panels, you could charge the battery pack right here in about 7.5 hours if you do have two of these solar panels. So in the box of the solar panel, you're also gonna find this cable. It is a fairly long cable, and what I really love about this cable is the fact that it actually has a USB-C port and a USB-A port as well. So if you want to charge your phone, if you want to charge your laptop, or basically any device, you don't necessarily need the power station. You can just open up the solar panel and you can plug anything in here and charge it this way. So of course, this is very handy, mostly if the power station is not close to wherever you are and you just have the solar panel handy. So very, very useful in my opinion, being able to use just the solar panels so you can actually charge devices. The solar panel is also foldable. It folds like this, as you can see it now. And because we have this handle here, it's also easy to carry. So if you're walking around with it, no problem whatsoever. To open it, you basically just pull on it like this. And on the back here, we also have these two legs, or kickstands, let's call them. So let me show you how that would work. So you basically open it like this, you point it towards the sun, and then you'd open these two legs on the back, and then the solar panel stays like that. This also has an IP68 water rating, so that means that if it rains a bit on it, nothing will happen to it. So I love the fact that you can fold this, you can easily carry it with you, and it's also quite light as well. So you have unlimited power in this little pack right here. All right, and going back to our device, so on the front here we have the screen. This will show us how much power we have. It will also show you the discharge rate or the charging rate, depending if you have something connected to this and charging it, or if you have something charging from this. So you can basically see everything on that screen. We also have a light here. There are a couple of modes. You can also control this from the app. Here we have a 12-volt cigarette lighter port, let's call this. And here we have our two AC power plugs. So you can basically plug anything, and we'll do some tests in just a bit. You can also cover those back. And here we have two USB-C ports, one that can output 30 watts, one that can output 100 watts. The bottom one is great if you want to charge your laptop fast, for example. You could charge other devices as well. And then of course we have a USB-A port as well, and you can also turn off or on these ports like this. So you hold that button pressed for just a bit, and then the AC ports are enabled. Then you can just power them off from here and enable these ones. So it depends what you're actually using from the device. So very, very easy to use, and you can change all these from the app as well. So basically the app connects your phone to the power station, and you can change settings easily from the app. You can actually see the temperature of the device in the app. Otherwise you're not gonna know what temperature the battery pack inside it is. So the app is definitely helpful for a lot of situations, so you can tweak things as you want them and so on. And you can also enable those fast charging, emergency charging modes, the quiet charging mode, and so on. So the app is definitely an asset for this power station. Alright, so let's start our little test with this electric kettle. So we're just gonna enable the AC plugs and we'll plug this in here. So we'll just power this on. So it's currently pulling 1420 watts. You can hear the fan inside the device going, and the kettle is also working. You can actually hear the water starting to boil. So the output is about 1400 watts right now. So you could even use a kettle that's a bit more powerful than this. So at this current discharge rate, this would last for about half an hour. It shows right there, but we only have about 75% of the capacity. So a kettle like this works without any issues. How about a hair dryer? Well, this particular one is rated up to 2200 watts. So I'm not sure if at the maximum power our power station will be able to take it, but we're definitely gonna find out. So we have 3 levels of heat and 2 levels for the fan. So we'll go to the medium heat and first level of the fan. So right now it's pulling about 487 watts. We'll increase the power of the fan, see what happens. So about 1600 watts. We'll lower that. I'm gonna increase the level of the heat, so that should suck even more power. So now it's pulling about 780 watts, and we'll go at the maximum fan speed to see what happens. So I'm quite surprised that this was able to output about 2000 watts or close to 2000 watts, and it didn't actually shut off. So for a few seconds you could pull a bit more power than what this is rated for. So quite impressive for a hairdryer. Alright, next on the list is a coffee maker, because if you're camping and you don't have access to electricity, having one of these will be awesome so you can make your morning coffee. Now keep in mind there are a lot of coffee makers that are a lot more powerful than this one. I believe this one pulls about 1500 watts, so about what this can output. So we'll see how this goes. We have the coffee in and this is already warm. And we'll see the power that's being pulled. So really not that much. I think it only pulls a lot of power. Oh, okay, right now, so it's heating up as well. So about 1300 watts, just over 1300 watts while making coffee. So if you have a coffee maker kind of like this one, you can definitely make coffee as well. So no problem whatsoever. And once again, you do hear the fan inside the device revving up every so often depending on the output. So aside from being able to power all those devices and of course fast charge, this is also very reliable and very safe as well. So the manufacturer calls the technology used for this Charge Shield 2.0. So basically this constantly monitors the temperature of the battery pack. It will decrease the charging speed if it has to. It will basically keep itself safe so it doesn't get too hot or too cold. So it will keep that battery inside it at the optimal temperature all the time for an increased lifespan and of course for safety. So this is a very safe device to use as well. So to quickly conclude this video, if you're looking for a small power station that's also quite powerful and it has a lot of features and can offer you pretty much unlimited power generation with a solar panel like this or a couple of solar panels like this, well, look no further because this one is definitely the one to get. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this out, and they also have some really good Black Friday promotions going on. So definitely check the links in the video's description, and whatever other information I may have will be in there. Alright guys, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.